Spoons and
Okay, it is 7 o'clock, so we will call the December 18th regular meeting of the Northport Village Council to order. Roll call, trustees Harper, Cavendish, Cook, Dean, President McCann are all present and accounted for. And we do have trustee Rubel joining us via Zoom. And Susan is absent. We also have the manager and the village treasurer here with us all. Okay, item 2 is approval of the agenda amendments or additions. Are there any amendments or additions any council members would like to make at this time? Okay,
Move to approve.
all right.
Second.
Motion was made by Hugh, supported by Will, to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the agenda is set. Item 3 is our consent agenda.
I want to request that we remove both sets of minutes. There's a couple corrections, and because Joni was out, she wasn't able to do them yet. So I
Okay,
just want to put them on the record so she has them.
okay. Move the minutes down to just behind correspondence before the reports. Any other changes to the consent agenda? Okay. Move to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Second.
All right, it's made by McCann, supported by Hugh, to approve the consent agenda as amended. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, consent agenda is agenda. That brings us to public comment. If anyone would like to make a public comment, you may do so for up to 5 minutes. Please state your name and location, residence for the record. Nobody here in person with us. If anybody in Zoom would like to do so, you may do it at this time.
California. You're a very creative person, right?
Yes, I am. First off, I'd love to say hi to my sweet grand.
Yeah, there's,
I got it.
yeah.
Susan Manson.
Anybody public comment? Okay, then at this time we'll move on. There's a second public comment at the end of the meeting if you'd like to do so then. Item 5 is correspondence. An email came in today from Mark and Jane Voigt in regards to 7th Street development. That was in the packet for everybody to read. Did anybody have any other correspondence? Okay, we'll move to the next item, which will be the minutes that were removed from the consent agenda.
I just have a couple things on the December 4 minutes. Under attendance, it says that Rubel was here in person. He was attended by Zoom, so I think we should switch that. And that's it for the December 4. Then on the November 20, there's a couple things. There were 2 votes, and it just says carried by roll call vote, but it doesn't have the vote counts, and one of them wasn't unanimous. So I think that should be listed. It was 5-2. And then the bottom of page 2 also has that it was roll call vote with no, and then there's 2 of the word roll, like it's roll. And then the public comment, Mary Cermak Betzel is her name, and it's doesn't have her last name in it. But that's it.
Okay,
You want to approve them one at a time or?
I think we can, I'll make a motion to make all those changes to the minutes.
Yeah, approve as amended. The
Approve.
December 4 and the November 20.
I don't know, whatever.
yeah. All right, it's made by Will, supported by
Laura, support.
Laura.
Yes.
To approve the November 20 and December 4 minutes as amended. Any discussion around that? No? All in favor of the minutes as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Ex officio reports. planning commission is on here.
Yeah, I actually was not at the meeting. My understanding, I don't know if you wanted to summarize, but there was master plan review, there was discussion of zoning again, and working through those. The definitions are pretty solid, I think now, the changes that are happening there. And then there was CIP discussion, correct?
And master plan.
Right, and
Uh,
master
keep
plan,
moving
yeah.
on to master
Yep,
plan. The zoning, so you know, kind of the schedule for those. The transient lodging definitions, we had pretty much had those settled going into the meeting last week. And they said, go ahead with those, basically new definitions, new use table, new special use regulations specific to campground / RV park. So those are ready for the planning commission to make a recommendation and then send those to the council. And changes to the D1 multi-use district, including map amendments. So those could generate some, I think some.
well, they both
public
have to
interest.
have public hearing, right?
They
Yeah,
will both need a public hearing. Planning commission is ready to move forward recommending both of those after the meeting last time. So those can start moving ahead.
Yeah.
And I think that they'll be back here probably in February or March.
Cool. All right, any questions for Jared on the planning commission? All right, thank you. Infrastructure?
infrastructure, it's the same update as last time. They're working on getting all the pricing and all of the scheduling in line for all of the projects that are underway or will be underway.
All right, excellent. Marina?
Nothing to report.
Okay. NLTUA, we had a pretty productive meeting. We reviewed the draft budget. That was emailed to everybody in the council for the NLTUA rules and regulations, and we'll look to adopt that in February. Two things of note in the capital improvements will be the main line cleaning and the wet well relining. Things that haven't been done since we had the sewer, so those are important to get done. We approved the Jacobs agreement, an amendment to the Jacobs agreement for them to continue to be our treatment plant and facility provider. And we updated our phone service to the lift stations and the plants. The landlines are being no longer renewed, and so now we're going with a cellular that gives them like instant feedback as to if there's any issues with them. Two things to note I do want to bring to the council's attention. One, we had a ADU here in the village that was recently built. They installed their own grinder pump and then attached that grinder pump to the grinder pump on the main dwelling. And there was some concern about the liability and possibly responsibility, who that lies with if there's an issue with the grinder pump that doesn't match the ones that we have, who's going to fix that, and the ability to turn off that grinder pump if we need to repair the grinder pump that it was ran through. So we're working with the homeowner on that to get some language in place that will give us the ability to, secure that line off so that they don't have to work in a grinder pump that's got active sewage flowing through it. Two,
First off, is that something we actually allow or?
well, that's part of it, is that we need to look at the language we have in our rules and regulations about how these ADUs are going to be hooked up to the sewer, whether that's appropriate or should they have their own separate connection. Like with an ADU in the village for like electricity, it has to come off the main building. It can't have its own standalone electricity. If you remember, we had to do a land split just south of the village there a couple of years ago. So again, connection fee. That kind
Well,
of
was
stuff.
there an additional assessment?
There was not. So that's where we need to have some language in place to, there's a possible connection fee that we.
In practical sense, having their own grinder pump that's going into another grinder pump is nothing but good for us. Because the gray water gets double processed, so that's means we're gonna have a lot less trouble with it if we have trouble at all. So that's a benefit. Being able to turn it off, maybe they have to have the power switch. But it's just interesting how the language on, and I don't know if that's gonna go for review, but back when this was the huge kerfuffle, the reason I'm at this chair is because they were charging ADUs an extra 0.5 REUs. There are a lot of residences in the SAD that are paying 1.5 REUs because of ADUs.
Mhm.
And if I was one of those people, I would want parity. You know, I would want that reviewed because it's not exactly legal to charge some people one rate and other people another rate for the same thing. That said, once this did all go through the mess, I can recite almost line for line the final opinion by the bond attorney or some attorney that said the RU assessment is a snapshot in time, and after all is said and done, he said anything that connects that is a T or a Y that goes in is one that's residential, which that whole 3 years of legal wrangling and all the money I spent and all the village, the $20,000 the village spent on lawyers was for nothing. Just setting the record straight. But I think you're at the right number now, but I wouldn't be surprised if some people paying 1.5 may all of a sudden say, hey, wait a minute.
Mhm.
So that could cost the NLTUA something in the long run.
Yeah.
It's got to be checked out.
Yep. The second thing that a little bit more concerning was that a parcel in the township included in the sewer assessment district that was one parcel at the time of the sewer assessment district being drawn at some point was split into 3 parcels, and one of the parcels was issued a land use permit with a drain field, and that's in the sewer assessment district. So yeah, so that's something that we're need to work with the township to make sure that parcels that are in the sewer assessment district.
Where is this?
It's north of town on Woolsey Lake Road. Just
No, this is Scoggins?
no,
Okay.
no, it's just as you go past Joni and Danny's house and turn the corner, it's a parcel just right there. And it's sort of
They're in the SAD out there.
yeah, so it's this parcel right here, and the construction was on this parcel here, so their access is off of Woolsey Lake Road. However, at the time, this whole parcel was one and included
Okay.
in the SAD there, so.
I didn't know the SAD went that far the
Yeah.
direction. Good luck with that.
Yeah, well, at this point, yeah, exactly, so.
That could be a mess.
It's if anything going forward, we just need to ensure that, the person issuing the land use permits at the time
Yeah.
is aware that which parcels are in and which are not in the sewer assessment district, so. That was kind of the bulk of our discussion. Anyway, do you have any questions regarding those 2 issues or?
No, that's interesting stuff. Good.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yep,
And I'm glad I'm not on the NLT anymore. That's a mess.
all right, okay, that way we can now move on to new business. First up is item A, which is the UHY settlement agreement and release. And you can have a
To approve the settlement agreement and release as presented and authorize the village manager to execute.
That's a strong second on that one.
all right, it's approved by, the motion was made by Laura, approved by Will to approve the UHY settlement as presented. Discussion. As the manager included in his summary, he highlighted some of the bullet points in the settlement. We're getting
Yeah, no,
82.95.
We went through this. It's good on us we kind of lowballed them and Ross didn't think it would work and it did. And I remember making the argument, well, why not? And we saved a few $1,000s. So good on the council for, doing the right thing. And saving the people some money.
Okay,
Our people.
yes. Any other discussion or comments?
No, let's go.
Okay. Let's see, the motion was made by Laura, supported by Will to approve the settlement agreement and release as presented and authorize the village manager to execute. Roll call vote starting with Will.
Yes.
Laura,
Yes,
Hugh,
Yes,
Edwin,
Yes.
and yes. Motion passes. Right. Item B is a resolution 2025-18.
Move to approve the resolution 2025-18 as presented.
I'm gonna. I would like them split. Into the different motions for the, seasonal rates and the transient rates. Because they're separate increases of separate amounts, and I'm gonna abstain from one of them.
Okay,
I don't think it's right for me to vote on the.
So we should say, what do we have to do with the motion that was on the floor?
Oh, well, you can withdraw it.
Yeah, I'll restore it. It's fine.
Okay, so then the new motion is to approve resolution 2025-18, establishing seasonal slip rates for 2026 and 2027. As presented.
A second.
motion made by Laura, supported by Hugh to adopt resolution 2025-18. Establishing the seasonal slip rates for 26 and 27 as presented. Any discussion?
Well, I missed that. I thought we had decided. We should wait till, well, we have a second, so we can discuss. I thought we had decided to do incremental. We were gonna go up again in 27. Does it say
That's what
that?
it is.
Yes, yeah, for
It's
yeah,
saying, it's the first, it's
Okay.
it's
Go to-
saying.
Go to B and.
Yep, my bad.
26 and
I
27.
didn't do my homework. Go ahead.
all good. Any discussion?
You can clarify, the motion was for seasonal.
Seasonal.
Yes,
Seasonal.
Yes.
Yep.
For the
The
season,
seasonal rate portion of the resolution.
Yes.
yes,
Yes,
it was stated.
seasonal slip rates for 26 and
and 27. I basically just read your first analysis part.
Discussion on the motion? Okay, again, made by Laura, supported by Hugh to approve 2025-18, establishing the seasonal slip rates for 2026 and 2027. Roll call vote, starting with Laura,
Yes.
Hugh,
Yes.
Edwin,
Yes.
and yes. All right.
Well, I get to abstain.
He's got it.
Oh, yeah, Will,
I abstain, citing a conflict of interest.
okay,
I move the resolution of 2025-18 establishing transient slip rates for 2026.
I'll second.
motion was made by Hugh, supported by Laura to approve resolution 2025-18, establishing the transient slip rates only for 2026. Any discussion on that? No?
That also looks good.
Okay. Again, for the record, the motion was made by Hugh, supported by Laura to adopt resolution 2025-18, establishing the transient slip rates for 2026. Roll call vote, starting with Edwin,
Yes.
Hugh,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Will,
Yes.
and yes. All right. Next up is the village council meeting schedule and village holiday calendar.
I move that we approve the 2026 village council meeting schedule and village holidays as presented.
Second.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead, Will.
I don't care.
No, I don't either.
All right, motion was made by Laura, supported by Will to approve the 2026 village council meeting schedule and village holidays as presented. Any discussion regarding those?
Looks good.
Okay. And motion made by Laura, supported by Will to approve the 2026 village council meeting schedule and village holidays as presented. It's a resolution, so roll call vote starting with Will.
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Hugh,
Yes.
Edwin,
Yes.
and yes. Right. And D, the rules of procedure amendment.
Move that we amend the rules of procedure as presented.
Second.
Motion was made by Laura, supported by Hugh to amend the rules of procedure as presented. Discussion.
New Jersey has some stuff in this.
Yeah, I can get into as much or, as little as you like with this, I'll just say, briefly that, the couple changes. One, changing the regular meeting agenda to line up with the timing of liaison reports, and then make the work session coincide with those. And have an agenda, so that agenda for the work session is now part of the rules. And adding a new section for attendance at council meetings. Which states that, accordingly, I think, to the discussions that we've had recently, that council members may attend meetings via electronic means. They can't vote or deliberate, which is what's in the Open Meetings Act. And it's just the rules that are consistent with the Open Meetings Act, creating exceptions for military duty, medical condition, or declared emergencies.
Aren't they considered the same as the public then?
Yes, that's
my opinion.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
And I was
Yeah.
gonna also note that this still allows a council member participating electronically to request to be called on and at the entertainment of the president may speak at, if given permission.
You can just, I would suggest that they're treated like every other public comment.
Exactly.
So if the chair opens the floor to
Right.
the member,
Member.
the trustee that's attending remotely, you should also open the floor for any member.
Well, that's not necessarily, I think that's at the president's discretion, because just because you call on one member of the public doesn't mean you're giving every member of the public a chance to speak. But if we're in the middle of a discussion, and it happens all the time, even with staff, the president can call on whoever he wants, but that doesn't mean he has to call on anybody else who doesn't want to. So
Now, can and should,
I get
you
it.
know what I mean?
But I just want to make it clear that if we're doing something, and I don't know about deliberation, but
That's a gray area.
it's a gray area, but if for some reason Chris wants to ask Joe a question about anything, my opinion is it can be about anything. The OMA submit probably really shouldn't be a part of the deliberation, but maybe he's knows something about something. I mean, you don't check, like I said, you don't check your constitutional rights at the door. So the trustee does not have less rights than a member of the public. Let's put it that way. So can be called on.
I think that that's true, but also the members of the public aren't supposed to have public comment via Zoom at all either. It's just we're choosing to not do that. So that's what you're saying is you want to choose.
So we
to.
do it all the time, and then like
Right, that's
we
what
have
we're talking
somebody in from Homestretch to talk. They are talking at the pleasure of the president, and that is like we don't have to have anybody else. That's
But aren't they usually an agenda? item?
Yeah, they're on agenda.
I think
it doesn't always matter.
I think if you call on a trustee who's attending remotely
Yeah,
to comment, I
yeah,
think that could be perceived as deliberating.
yeah. That's where I'm saying it's pretty gray.
Yeah,
But
so I would just caution about that.
Right.
But there's a way to get around that, which is if you want to have feedback from a trustee that's attending remotely, say, we are going to have a time now for public comment on this particular
well,
issue.
yeah, and then you have to open it up to everyone.
And you have to open it up to
Yeah.
everybody, but just the same, that gives the trustee an opportunity to comment.
Okay,
Does anybody else?
there, usually when this happens is in times of factual clarification. When you'll call on a member of the public say, well, what happened down there? Whose pipe was it that broke? Or, something like that. Can you just tell the council what happened? Or, something like that. In giving factual representations without opinion should absolutely be allowed. I don't think it's proper for Chris to say, well, Joe, what do you think about this?
Right.
Because we're about to vote on it. How would you vote if you were here? That would clearly be wrong.
Yeah, one of the things Jared and I discussed would be to in the public comment, allow all the public to speak and then call on Joe to say, do you have any comments regarding any? agenda
Yeah, and
items?"
we've done that in the past and it is improper. And so we gotta stop doing that. Okay, I'm good.
Only thing I think we should add is a definition for what exactly counts for unexcused excessive absences. I mean,
Yeah, we didn't get there, did we?
No, we didn't really discuss that. And so that's something we could add.
Let's add that later.
We could put that on the agenda for the January
That's
meeting,
what I'm saying,
or
yes.
future meeting,
Yeah,
and, you know,
We
make
can still
make
pass
future
this and-
amendments, but.
Great.
You would like to schedule that for more discussion?
yeah. I
Yeah,
think
well,
because it's in there
Okay.
is, you've got these excused, or I don't know what an unexcused absence is. I've never seen one yet. So, but I think we do need those defined, and maybe we have to look to another jurisdiction to see what they use.
So if we do that, will we have to amend what we're voting on tonight?
No. We can always.
No, we'll
amend.
just have-
We can always amend, the rules of procedure for the village are, they're gonna be amended and amended and amended, so.
Yeah, they're a living document,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's in section 6, hold on, let me get the right section here. It's, but B, conduct of meeting, B, so it's the second major section, B, subsection 6. If you're looking at page 3, attendance at council meetings, and it just says unexcused successive absences, it's not defined. But however, it does say the council may excuse absences for cause. But I think to Edwin's point, it doesn't, that's not defined.
I think we should take a look at it. I'm sure there's something out there that's got a nice definition somewhere. See what another
Oh,
village does.
yeah, I mean, we can come up with criteria. for
Yeah,
sure.
I would like to do that.
I can tell you from my personal experience. You won't often see specific criteria. It is usually more often written this way, where it's up to the council to determine what's excused and what's not excused, and you could use whatever criteria you think is best. You can formalize it in the rules, I'm not suggesting that otherwise. But just typically you won't see, because it could be a long list, you get a really complicated explanation of
Yeah, I can see that.
what family relatives death constitutes
Well,
unexcused, those
I
kind of
would,
things.
what I would go with, I mean, just shooting off the top, my hip here, would say it should be at the discretion of the president, however, that could be overridden by a majority of the council. So, because in a worst case scenario, a president 20 years from now doesn't like a member of the council, and the member of the council keeps having these conflicts and can't come to meetings, and the president could try to get rid of him that way. He really did have a reason for not being there, and so the rest of the council could say, 3 people could say, hey, no, you can't, it's not 100% you, we can veto your call of the excuse or inexcuse, and I don't mean you.
no,
But I think that would be, you don't want to give that 100% discretion to the president, but I'd say give it to the president to make a call. But also give the council a chance to override that, to veto that, kind of the opposite of a veto, but.
Lots of ways to slice it up, I'll schedule it.
Yeah,
for
that's what
discussion.
that's what I would like to see. We haven't had this come up, but, really since I've been around, but that doesn't mean it won't, and we should get it, I can see it coming up. So we should get it before it comes up.
Yep, good choice.
I have a comment on a different section.
go ahead.
So just when you have the meetings broken down, after the regular meeting, it says any council member shall have the right to add items to the regular agenda a week before the next meeting. I wonder if you just want to move that after both of them and say regular agenda or work sessions agenda.
That would
Anyway.
probably be better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, catch all for both of them,
Yeah,
yeah, I think that would be better.
Any other discussion regarding the updated rules of procedure? And I guess just for the public clarification, we will choose to allow remote public comment. We are not required to, but we feel that it's important that public that are not able to make it here to the meeting physically.
Yeah, I agree. I think Zoom's been the best thing that's happened to municipal government in terms of participation.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's one of the only good things coming out of COVID.
Okay, any other, no other discussion
No.
regarding the rules? Okay,
do we need to change as amended or not? The motion,
No,
we're changing the.
we're just doing this amendment tonight. We're gonna do additional amendments going forward.
However you'd like to do it, the motion was
Says as presented as well.
yeah, how did that motion, can you remind me of the motion?
Yeah, it was made by Laura, supported by Hugh to amend the rules of procedure as presented.
So you may wish to
Or we could,
change that motion or
or we could
withdraw it.
wait and do it all at once in January. Get the changes all in. And then present them at the work session in January and then vote. And, I mean, this is not times of the essence kind of thing. Let's just wait. Let's not vote tonight. How about that?
Last table.
Yeah, I would, can I move to table? I don't know my rules.
Who made the motion?
You made the
Me?
motion.
Yeah.
I moved to table, I moved to table it, because I think that works. As opposed to doing it.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna have a
Second.
bunch of votes and
Yeah.
it's just gonna be confusing once we do it all at once.
All right, the motion was made by Laura, supported by Edwin to table rules of procedure amendments to a meeting at a later date. That way we don't have so many amendments to the rules of procedure. All right. All in favor of the motion tabled, say aye. Right. Motion is tabled. All right, we ripped through that. That brings us to our second public comment. Again, if anybody would like to make a public comment, you have up to 5 minutes to address the council. And please state your name and residence for the record. And nobody in person here, so if anybody in Zoom would like to make a comment, you can unmute yourself to be recognized. Okay, if there's no public comment, we'll move on to council comments. Laura?
I just have a couple things. One, I still would really like to have us vote on our intent for 7th Street. And I don't know what meeting that would be, if it's something that needs to be work session or if it's something that can just be at the next regular meeting. I thought we were gonna do it this month, but I guess not. So I still would like to see that our intent for 7th Street, if it is housing, that we have a
I agree.
vote that says that's what our intent is. And the township just did that with the recycling site.
Yeah, the paper got the weird address, so.
Did they? I didn't see that. And then the second thing I just wanted to say that the work session for our work session meeting that we had this month isn't on YouTube yet, so I just want to be sure that it's there. Cause I was made aware of that.
I'd just like to add, I know we talked about this months ago, but upgrading the audio and visual for the meetings, because they were very difficult to listen into, or, you know, and even the closed captions are not accurate on YouTube whatsoever, so.
Yeah, I brought that up at the work session last time and he said that the IT is being switched over and that's all part of that, so hopefully.
We just talked about it this morning when our new IT company was here. We're transitioning right now, and we sat here talking about exactly what they would recommend. And they're gonna help us put it in place. We're looking at a couple different options, and I was thinking about it before the meeting. I wanna follow up with an email with some more details, because if we spend X amount on the microphones, there's some other things that we can do with the budget that was allocated for this year. And so I'd like some feedback, would be helpful from the council on, you know, what you'd like to look at. Because if we can get a new microphone setup that's gonna work really well for audio, we wanna rearrange a couple items, but then also look at the seating arrangement. So including tables, chairs, you know, whatever comes to mind, let me know, get back to me, and that's why I've been saying we're working on it, because I've been waiting for this new IT company to come in.
Because you're working on
Because so it's coming. It's coming.
But I second it, yes, I very much agree that we gotta get the audio better.
I've heard that many times,
Mhm.
and I'm anxious to
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Nobody seems to have a problem hearing me. I don't know why.
Yeah. YouTube, I listen to it on YouTube. I do have a comment that just point of notice that Kathy Wessel will not be seeking reappointment to the planning commission in April. And so I do want to thank her for her time and just put it out into the public that we will be looking for a new planning commissioner to appoint in April. So we'll be taking the appropriate steps that this council outlined for those type of procedures. And yeah. and Merry Christmas.
I was applauding Kathy's service, not applauding that she's leaving.
Yes, 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 yeah, absolutely, no.
Not misunderstood.
She's probably one of the longest
Thank you very
serving
much.
planning commissioners on the
Yeah.
commission, so,
6 years.
yeah, a
Yeah.
long time. She was there when I was there.
It's-
Any other public comment or council comment? I'm sorry.
No.
No, okay, then, I'll make
move to
a,
adjourn.
yeah, I'll
Move to
support
adjourn.
that at 7:35. 7.